Silence hit first. Not a roar, not a warning. Just a dead, unnatural quiet on the desert edge. The lion pride stopped because the ground in front of them looked like it had been struck by a living hammer. A fresh crater, deep and clean. No blood, no carcass, no struggle. Only impact, and a smell so sharp the lead lioness recoiled like she'd touched fire. Subscribe to my channel because stories like this sound impossible until you watch how quickly they turn real. This pride didn't come here scared. They came here convinced they were untouchable. Weeks of winds had trained them to believe pressure breaks everything. Hyenas backed off, rivals disappeared, waterholes became theirs without a full fight. Their male leader moved like panic had never existed, slow and heavy, the kind of lion that doesn't chase first. He surrounds, he squeezes, he ends. Dry season made the desert feel easy, prey forced into narrow lanes, predictable routes, fewer mistakes needed. They moved in formation under early heat, sand hissing under paws, horizon shimmering like a lie. Then they saw the tracks and everything tightened. Not hooves, not paws, round impressions, deep enough to hold shadow, spaced wide like the steps of something huge that didn't hurry. The wind shifted and the smell hit them, dusty, musky, old, the scent of an animal that has lived long enough to stop running. The tracks led into a dry riverbed, and the riverbed looked wrong. Thorn bushes flattened, branches snapped like toothpicks, a tree rubbed raw with bark stripped away in long, harsh streaks. Then the vultures, not circling, not calling, just sitting in rows on dead limbs like black statues. Vultures don't wait like that unless they're afraid to land or afraid of what's already down there. A vibration rolled through the sand. No clouds, no thunder. It came again, slow and measured, footsteps you felt more than heard. The pride crouched and scanned, expecting prey to bolt, expecting panic to reveal weakness. Instead, dust peeled back, and a shape stood there like a moving boulder. A bull elephant. Not the soft river kind. This one was desert-hardened, tall and lean, hide caked with sand, ribs like armor plates, one ear torn, one tusk chipped, scars mapped across his shoulders like old lightning. Behind him, half hidden, two younger elephants pressed close, tense, watching the lions without blinking. The lions fanned out the way they always do, testing angles, measuring exits, searching for the moment fear would make the giant turn. But he didn't turn away, he turned toward them. Trunk lifted, air tasted, eyes locked on the male first, not the closest lioness, not the cubs, the leader, because even prey understands leadership. The male stepped forward, one slow pace, mane lifting, shoulders rolling, the same message he'd used to break everything. This is mine. The bull answered with a deep chest rattle that traveled through sand into bone. The lionesses felt it in their legs, the cubs felt it in their teeth. Then the bull did the one thing that stole the pride's rhythm. He didn't bluff, he advanced. One step and the ground dented, another step and dust jumped, head lowered, tusks aimed. No warning game, no intimidation dance, just a straight decision written in muscle. The pride split fast, sand exploding under paws, because even lions know what a charge means. But the bull didn't rush randomly. He drove straight through their center, straight at their formation, straight at the one lioness who hesitated half a second too long. Her back foot slid. The desert stole her grip. The pride saw it at the same time. Run and abandon her, or fight something that doesn't fear teeth. The lead lioness lunged to intercept, claws digging, eyes locked. Then the bull swung his head with such force the air seemed to crack. Dust swallowed everything. A heavy impact, a snarl cut off mid-sound. Silence again. And when the dust thinned, the crater wasn't a mystery anymore. It was a warning the desert had already written. Out here, the lions aren't the biggest power in the food chain. They're just the next ones to step too close.
Dust dropped. The pride regrouped fast, not because they were calm, but because lions can't afford to look shaken in front of each other. The slipped lioness was alive, breathing hard, shoulders stinging, eyes wide like she'd just learned a new law of nature. The male paced in a tight arc, tail snapping, watching the bull like he was watching fire, dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to intimidate. The bull didn't chase. That was the problem. He stopped on packed ground at the riverbed edge, squared up, juveniles tucked behind him, tusks angled forward like gates, and he held the line as if the desert itself belonged to him. The pride tried to reset the rules. Don't rush, don't commit, spread out, squeeze, isolate. 2 lionesses went wide left into scrub, another drifted right behind a dune shadow. The male stayed central, slow and heavy, the pressure point. Hunger pushed them forward anyway. Empty stomachs make bad ideas feel brave. They tested him with a bluff. One lioness feinted in, quick steps, quick stop. The bull didn't flinch. He tracked her with a lazy head turn like he had all day. Another lioness tried to creep close to the shoulder, aiming for that soft zone behind the front legs where lions usually bite and hold. The bull pivoted, heavy but precise, always keeping his chest square, always keeping his juveniles protected. The pride widened, tighter semicircle, and for a moment it looked like it might work, because lions are built for teamwork and elephants are supposed to be built for fear. Then the bull changed the whole fight without a single kill. He stepped forward into their space, 3 slow steps, claiming the center and forcing them onto loose sand. The lionesses adjusted, but dust rose with his movement, and dust is an elephant's weapon. Lions need clean sight lines and timing. Dust turns coordination into guessing. A young lion hesitated. A lioness misread the angle and had to spring sideways as a tusk cut past, close enough to feel the wind of it. The male took 1 step forward to reassert control, and the bull snapped his head toward him, just a short warning swing, no contact, pure message, don't come closer. The male paused, tiny pause, loud signal. The pride tried a smarter trap. One lioness stayed visible to hold attention, while another circled wide to threaten the juveniles, forcing the bull to choose. The bull didn't panic. He shifted his body like a door closing, juveniles sealed behind him, and then he did the most terrifying thing an animal that big can do. He targeted the planner, not the nearest threat. He charged the lead lioness. Sand exploded, thorn bushes shattered like dry paper. The lead lioness ran full speed, not hunting run, survival run, and the pride's shape snapped apart as everyone adjusted to avoid the tusks. And that was the bull's goal: break the formation, break the rhythm, break the confidence. When the dust thinned, the bull backed up again to the riverbed edge, packed ground under his feet, loose sand under theirs, breathing steady like none of it cost him effort. The pride tried to rebuild the squeeze, slow steps, tight angles, no bluffing now. The closest lioness crept in, eyes locked, muscles loading, waiting for the bull's smallest mistake. The bull gave her one, on purpose. He let her get close enough to believe, close enough to smell him, close enough to commit. The second she launched, the bull lifted his head just slightly and drove forward with his forehead like a battering ram. The lioness didn't get scratched, she got launched. She hit sand hard, rolled, came up coughing dust, stunned more than hurt, and the bull followed with 2 brutal steps that forced her to run away from the group. Instinct kicked in, another lioness moved to help, then another, and suddenly the pride was split, not by speed, but by pressure. The bull stopped again, faced the remaining lions and rumbled low, a vibration you feel in your bones, the kind that says, "I can do this all day." The male tried to reclaim the moment with a dominance roar, the sound that freezes rivals and breaks prey. The bull didn't blink. He scraped the sand once, slow and deliberate, then lifted his trunk and pulled in a long breath, reading the air like a map. And the pride saw the change in his eyes, focus shifting, decision forming, because he wasn't smelling lions anymore, he was smelling what lions hide. The male's head snapped toward the dune line. The lead lioness's blood ran cold, because the bull had found the one thing that could collapse the pride without killing a single adult: the cubs. The bull turned slightly, just enough to angle his body toward that hidden shade, and the pride moved at once. No strategy now, no patience, just urgent motion, because if that giant forced the cubs to scatter into open sand, the pride would spend the next hour chasing panic instead of holding power. The bull took one step toward the dune, one step, deep thud. The male sprinted to cut him off, closing distance no lion should ever close on an elephant, teeth bared, mane flying, and he got so near that even the lionesses tensed like they were watching a cliff edge. The bull lowered his head. The male didn't slow, and the desert went quiet again, like it was waiting to see which king learns fear first.
A male closed in, too close, close enough to see dust packed into the elephant's skin folds, close enough to smell that hot, dry, ancient breath. He wanted one clean moment, one bite on the trunk, one snap at the face, anything that would make the giant hesitate and turn away from the dune. But the bull didn't hesitate. He did the opposite. He stepped into the charge, head low, tusks forward. And the male lion finally understood the difference between bravery and physics. He veered at the last second, claws carving sand, because a tusk doesn't hurt you, it ends you. The bull surged past where the lion had been, then stopped hard and pivoted like a door slamming shut, blocking the dune line again. Not chasing, controlling. Every move was economy, like he was conserving rage. The pride snapped into emergency mode. No more elegant squeeze, no more patient angles. This was about one thing: keep the cubs safe, keep the giant's attention, don't let panic spread. Two lionesses rushed the bull from opposite sides, not to kill, just to distract, to force his head to turn. The bull answered with dust. He dragged his front foot, scraped sand high, then stomped forward, making a cloud that erased the lion's depth perception. One lioness misjudged the distance and had to jump back as a tusk cut through the haze. The other tried to dart in behind the shoulder again, but the bull shifted his whole body one step, keeping his flanks closed like armor plates. He wasn't fast like a cat. He was fast like a landslide, slow until it's too late. Then the bull did something that felt personal. He stopped looking at the lionesses. He looked past them, toward the cubs, toward the dune shade, and he rumbled again, low, rolling, commanding, calling the juveniles tighter behind him, pressing them into the safest pocket of space, his shadow. The pride saw the truth in that moment. This wasn't a random bull defending himself. This was a guardian, and guardians don't need to win. They need to make you leave. The lead lioness tried to flip the threat. She sprinted wide, circling to put herself between the bull and the cubs, forcing the bull to face her if he wanted to advance. She lowered her head, flattened ears, teeth showing, pure nerve, pure warning, then bluff charged just close enough to demand a reaction. The bull gave it, not panic, precision. He snapped forward 2 steps and swung his head so sharply that the lioness felt the wind of tusk pass her whiskers. She pulled back fast, but it cost her position. The bull didn't chase her. He used the space he stole. 1 step toward the dune. The cubs shifted in the shade, sensing the pressure without understanding it. The lioness's eyes flicked to them again and again, and every glance was fuel for the bull's next move. Because he could read them now. Adults can fake confidence. Mothers can't fake priority. The male tried again, not with teeth, with presence. He surged forward, roaring, aiming to intimidate and hold ground. The roar rolled across the riverbed and died into the dunes. The bull didn't blink. He lifted his trunk, tasted the air, and walked straight at the male like he was walking at a bush. The male held for a heartbeat, then gave ground. Not because he wanted to, because standing still would be suicide. And that single retreat, 1 step back, changed the pride. The younger lions saw it, the cubs felt it, the lionesses registered it in the way you register a crack in a wall. If the male can be pushed, the pride can be pushed. The desert behemoth had done what no rival coalition had managed to do. He had moved the king. The lead lioness made the decision for everyone. She snapped her head toward the open flats, away from the cubs, and broke into a run, fast, deliberate, obvious, offering herself as the moving target. Another lioness followed, then another, making it look like the pride was shifting the whole conflict away from the dune. It was a classic lion move: create a moving problem, drag the threat away, buy time. The bull watched them go. He didn't follow. He turned his head slightly and kept his body between them and the cubs. That's when the pride realized the worst part. They couldn't lure him, they couldn't trick him, they couldn't use hunger or ego or panic against him. He was locked on one objective, and he was better at it than they were. The wind dropped, the dust thinned, and in the clear air, the bull took one more step toward the dune line, slow, heavy, unavoidable, like he was walking into the pride's future on purpose. The lionesses bunched, ready to rush, ready to bite, ready to risk it all. The male shifted forward too, forcing his courage back into his legs. Then the smallest cub let out a thin, frightened sound from the shade. Not loud, not dramatic, just a tiny noise. The bull stopped instantly, head lifted, ears flared, trunk curled, every muscle tightened. And the pride understood, all at once, what they were really facing. Not an elephant that feared lions, but an elephant that feared what lions do to children. He wasn't going to run. He was going to end this. Right here.
The bull froze on that tiny cub sound, like a switch had been flipped. Head lifted, ears flared wide, trunk curled tight. The air changed. No more warning energy, no more back-off language. This was protect at all costs. The lionesses felt it instantly and tightened into a hard line, shoulders low, eyes locked, because now the pride wasn't hunting, it was defending its future. The male moved up beside them, forcing courage back into his legs, forcing the image of a king back onto his body, and for one sharp moment it looked like they might actually hold him. 5 lions, spread wide, ready to punish any step toward the dune. Then the desert behemoth did what big animals do when they decide the argument is over. He didn't pick a lion to fight, he picked the ground to control. He drove forward in a short, brutal burst, not a long chase, just enough, slamming into the space between the lions and the dune, throwing sand into their faces, shattering their sight lines, turning coordination into panic. A lioness tried to commit through the dust, aiming for the trunk, and got met by tusk wind so close it shaved her confidence clean off. She sprang back, coughing grit, eyes blinking hard. Another lioness darted for the shoulder again, classic angle, and the bull pivoted with a heavy, perfect step, closing that door before it even opened. The male roared and surged, trying to make the bull blink, and the bull answered with a chest-deep rumble and a head swing that forced the male to veer, because bravery doesn't matter if the next frame is a tusk through ribs. The cub shifted in the shade, restless, and that movement sharpened the bull further. He advanced one step, then another, not fast, not sloppy, measured, unstoppable, each step stealing space the pride could not afford to lose. The lead lioness snapped a command without sound, and the pride tried one last plan. A coordinated rush from both sides, not to kill, just to overwhelm his senses, to make him turn away from the dune for 2 seconds so the cubs could be moved. They went in together, clean timing, hard commitment, and for a heartbeat, the bull actually had to choose where to point the tusks first. That heartbeat was the pride's window. The lead lioness broke off, sprinted to the shade, and the cubs exploded into motion. Small bodies, quick legs, fear making them faster than sense. But fear in open sand is dangerous. One cub ran the wrong way, toward the riverbed. The lead lioness's heart dropped and she spun after him, and in that split second, the pride's defensive wall cracked again. The bull saw it and pushed, 2 steps, 3, forcing every adult lion to react to him instead of the cubs. The male tried to stand in front, to block the giant with pure presence, and got shoved back by reality. The bull's mass, his momentum, the desert underfoot. The male gave ground again, just a half step, but it was enough. The bull reached the edge of the shade, not to kill cubs, elephants don't hunt like that, but to do something worse for lions,
to scatter them, to ruin the pride's order, to turn motherhood into chaos. The lead lioness launched a desperate bluff right at the bull's face, teeth flashing, eyes wild, and the bull answered with a full-body surge and a dust blast that swallowed her. She hit the sand hard, rolled, came up blinking, alive, but the message landed. I can put you down whenever I choose. And that was the exact moment the pride finally understood what unstoppable really looks like. Not claws, not teeth, not numbers. A force that doesn't need to win a fight, only needs to make you leave. The lead lioness gathered the cubs tight behind her with sharp nudges, snapping them into a cluster, and the pride did the only smart thing left. They retreated as a unit, backing away step by step, refusing to turn and run, refusing to trigger a chase, but giving the bull the space he demanded. The bull followed for a few meters, just enough to press the lesson into their bones, then stopped on the riverbed line like a border guard. He stood tall, juveniles behind him, dust drifting off his shoulders, tusks angled forward, eyes calm again. No victory celebration, no roar, no drama, just control restored. The lions watched him from the open flats, chests heaving, pride bruised, hunger still burning, and for the first time in their lives, they were looking at something they could not bully, could not corner, could not outnumber. The desert behemoth didn't chase them away like prey. He held them off like an equal, or worse, like a judge. And as the sun slid lower and the wind began erasing tracks, the pride moved on in silence, because the desert had rewritten their identity in a single afternoon. They weren't unstoppable, they were simply unchallenged, until they met something too big to fear them. If you want more real cinematic wildlife stories with this kind of tension, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments, in that moment, do you think the lions made the right choice by backing off, or should they have risked everything for dominance?